What was your relationship with KODA like? For those who don't know, what was your relationship with him like?
KODA was more like a brother. He's one like, and then we're just moving. I think KODA actually even produced my very first single. Very first single I ever released. You know, once you know that Danny's involved, KODA will be involved. The first time I had a project and I was going to work with Danny, I remember then it was Cyril. You remember that story? And then Cyril asked me to go see Danny. But when I took that project to Danny, Danny said we have to check whether it's okay or be done again. And then that was when Danny sent it to KODA.
Wow.
And through that, we got to relate. We like each other, and KODA used to play for Danny, and so it's always been like that, you know. And so I don't know how we're gonna handle it, but God will give us grace.
Who see you perform don't know the Christian roots, the Bible study, prayers.
Yeah.
I mean, I followed your Kenya, and for anybody who doesn't know you, these guys, they don't know the story. And the fact that there have been many down CDs.
True.
Just talk to us briefly about the life of a musician becomes prominent and why KODA is an important example of that type.
I think one of the most important things for me is, first of all, the understanding of the call. And one of the things I always tell people is when God calls a man, he calls them first to himself, not unto a people. Most of the time we're in
to go and manifest.
But he calls you unto himself, and based on the relationship and knowledge you've acquired of who he is, then you go out there to share with the people. And that was one of the things for me. So at the beginning, that was what it was. Then meeting Danny and the study, which is the service part. And in service, you learn what the one who God has raised has learned that has brought them to that place. And you walk in that path. It's like the ancient man. You don't take them away. You follow suit. And that was what it was for me. And through that, even the service of KODA, somebody would tell me, KODA never wanted to be an artist.
Wow.
He wanted always, he said like, Joe, you know me, I like background.
He wants to produce. He wants short things to work for. Wow.
Those times when Danny Dempsey used to say, no, KODA, you need to say, no, Danny, no. And so it was more like when finally he decided to come out, he used to say, there's this era and there's our era.
That's a nice summary.
Yeah, so he said, so we never roll or rub shoulders with Danny.
No.
We are the
new guys,
exactly.
the small boys.
So every time there was something, he would call, say, Joe, you heard this song before? He'd be like, I heard before. I said, no. Like, he'd be like, be new. And fortunately for me, KODA moved closer to me, like literally 3 minutes.
Wow.
So once in a while, I see him in his
just
place
enter his studio and record something.
You know, so he's going to be missed. He's going to really, I don't know how, there are many things. I was like, I get some songs from my, I produce a few artists. I have like 5. Then I just, he says,
and you know the kind
of yeah.
Or you know he would treat it
He would get it. Like once he said, like, no, let's run it again. Let's run it. And he gets it. Even before. The beauty is working with a producer that also sings.
Thank you.
Or also understands it. It's easy to explain because he already understands the language, and so it's going to be a big issue for us.
Joe Mettle, it's a pleasure to see you. Thank you. God bless you. Keep up your good work. Great ministration. When you started the tree version of my favorite Gam medley, I wanted you to continue, but time did not allow us. So maybe you can continue later when you get on stage again. Thank you. God bless you so much. So that was Joe Mettle.